Yellowstone isn't finished. That's right, you heard that right. It just delivered its season finale, and it was very emotional. You can definitely relax, we'll discuss it, however this was a long way from the finish of The Establishment. As a matter of fact, the finale just set up 3 new storylines that will be investigated in future Yellowstone ventures, and I can hardly stand by to impart them to you. Along these lines, right away, how about we make a plunge? Obviously, amazingly, the Yellowstone finale began with our much darling Travis. Indeed, I'm being amusing, however he made that big appearance and took our time for around 5 minutes. I needed to discuss him first, not exclusively to get the most terrible piece of the episode out into the open yet additionally in light of the fact that I realize this character will be persuasive coming soon for The Establishment. Indeed, sadly, this isn't the last time we'll see Travis. In view of his connection with Potato alone, you can see he will be the new John Dutton of The Establishment. I know, in any event, expressing this without holding back makes me extremely upset, yet this is reality. Travis will be the main person of the impending 4/6's show, and our unfortunate Potato and Jimmy will work for him. Jesus, I actually can't really accept that this is the outcome we came to. Might it be said that you are as yet eager to watch the 4/6's show subsequent to catching wind of this? Tell me in the remarks. Presently, on to considerably more intriguing parts. All things considered, we, first of all, need to discuss the obvious issue at hand. Jamie is dead. Indeed, he is genuinely dead, without any questions or doubts encompassing his homicide. I need to concede, this was a horrendous method for disposing of such a questionable person. Go ahead and battle me in the remarks, yet this is the way I feel about it. As all of you know, I hate Jamie, but rather he didn't merit being killed off along these lines. It was surged and unexpected, they didn't actually get a legitimate discussion. Like, Beth said, I will kill you, and coincidentally, we sold the farm, and Jamie said, what? Truly? Good gracious, I'm stunned. Presently I need to kill you, as well. Then there was the battle, and obviously, Tyr came in at the ideal second, and that is all there is to it. That is the way Jamie's pursued such a long time. As a matter of some importance, I'm not persuaded that Jamie needed to kick the bucket the manner in which he did. He didn't structure his dad's killing, we as a whole know that. Likewise, he was a youngster when the early termination occurrence with Beth occurred, so I don't know whether that is sufficient to kill an individual. Indeed, he's a horrendous child and sibling, yet was his killing genuinely supported? By and by, I feel somewhat doubtful. Tell me your thought process. Plus, can someone explain all that milk in Jamie's fridge? Did we ever get a mention in the show that he has a secret obsession with milk, or what? Anyway, he's gone, and I'm still a bit bitter about it, mostly because I would have loved to see him in the future of the franchise. Now, one thing that didn't sit right with me was Rip's role in all of this. Part of me feels like his part in the entire season was cut off. He didn't have a revenge talk with Jamie. He didn't even feel the necessity to take John's revenge. Is it just me, or was Rip not that much of a fan of John after all? I didn't like his approach to the funeral. I didn't like that he didn't want Beth to take John's revenge. I didn't like seeing him sidelined so much by the other characters, especially Travis. Speaking of Travis, I truly believe that Taylor Sheridan was getting jealous of how popular Rip Wheeler became, so he decided to give him limited screen time and importance in the show in general. And I'm mad at him for this. Let me know what you thought about Rip's presence in these late episodes. Other things that bothered me about Jamie's death were the fact that Rip and Lloyd could carry that body in the daylight without any worries that someone would see them. The show is starting to feel like a fantasy series at this point. Also, how did they get rid of all of Jamie's blood on the floor? Are our forensic departments in Montana not working? Plus, how come the detective didn't get suspicious of Beth for invading Jamie's home and Jamie disappearing right after? I believe everyone just played it along to move the story forward and leave the rest for the upcoming shows, which I will talk about in just a second. But let me know what you think about all these. Now, the ranch is sold to the reservation, which was the best part of the entire episode in my opinion. Seeing Thomas Rainwater tearing up was priceless. Seeing the Yellowstone banner removed from the ranch was both emotional and dramatic, both in a good and bad way. Overall, I believe the reservation deserved it, and I'm glad to see the ranch in safe hands. That being said, if they were trusting the reservation and rainwater this much, why did John have so many troubles with them over the years? What was all that fighting about? Seriously, guys, I'm scratching my head since I finished the episode, and I can't stop coming up with new questions. But this concludes the Yellowstone Ranch chapter, for sure. We are entering a new era in the franchise, and it will have a completely different tone than the original series. Of course, losing the original ranch puts a bitter taste over the prequel series, such as 1923, but perhaps watching them will make us appreciate this ending more. Who knows? Alright, presently what's straight away? All things considered, we as a whole saw that Kayce, Monica, and Tate are beginning their own cow's business and brand, which is great, I assume. I'm glad for Kayce, without a doubt. Luke Grimes is an astounding entertainer, and I felt how assuaged Kayce felt once they sold the farm. That being said, I felt miserable to see that he saw the Yellowstone farm and his family inheritance as such a weight. Presently, we're unsure on the off chance that there will be a side project series for Kayce's new image, yet in the event that I know Sheridan, I'm certain he'd very much want to gain by this thought, which is the reason he left their storyline unassuming. In addition, could we at any point concur that Monica is one more person, close by tier, whose whole person circular segment was cut off? What number of words did she express all through this whole season? Perhaps 5. She didn't actually express anything about the new business, Tate's future, or even Jamie's demise. She is essentially muffled, and I accept her recovery will arrive in another side project series encompassing the family. Tell me your thought process. Likewise, in the event that we really do get another side project series, I'm wanting to see Tate's entertainer supplanted. The kid can't act. That is all I will say regarding it. Could you watch a Yellowstone spin-off with Kayce and Monica driving it? Can hardly hold on to hear your contemplations on it. On to Beth and Tare. Indeed, we got the affirmation for their new side project series, and we just watched them purchasing a spick and span farm a long way from Montana, beginning another section. This new section will go about as Yellowstone Season 6, being a direct development to the occasions of this finale. In this way, it could have an alternate title, in light of the different farm, however it will have a comparable tone with similar characters we as a whole know and love. They took Carter with them, which is astounding. Be that as it may, can we just be real, everything happened excessively fast, so I don't know how precisely they're wanting to respond. In one scene, they were killing Jamie, and in the following scene, they were at a pristine farm. Astounding farm, may I say, yet their arrangement is muddled. The uplifting news is Kelly Riley likewise affirmed that she's not prepared to relinquish Yellowstone yet, thus she will star in this show. All I'll say is, don't be shocked on the off chance that the abnormal killing of Jamie follows them up there too. Keep in mind, the analyst said he'd be in contact with Beth. However, tell me your hypotheses about the new side project show. Also, there are some questions that are yet to be answered, like, what happened to Jamie's son? Should we pretend that Beth had no idea about him and forgot her promise to Jamie? Will we see more of him in later shows? If we weren't going to see a storyline with him, why did they make Jamie talk to his baby mama in the previous episode? What did Christina do to help Jamie? Am I missing something here? Let me know what you think. Also, what happened to market equities? What was their reaction to all of this? Why didn't we see a single face from the company in the finale? I'm simply confused. Overall, John Dutton's legacy was disrespected, for sure. Also, remember how they made a huge deal about keeping the scenarios secret? No one knew what was written in the other scenario. What was the point of all that? Are you surprised to see any of these events happening? We, as fans, predicted 1,000,000 times that this would be the trajectory of the show. So, were the actors truly surprised to see all of this unfold? I genuinely believe it was just a gimmick to make us excited for the new season, because the actual season had nothing exciting about it. For more weekly updates and analysis about the Yellowstone franchise, make sure to like and follow. If you want to learn about what will happen in 1923 Season 2, watch the video on the screen.